when Roland started by saying about this lady that had inner ear, and she was hearing this because inner ear, Suzy has one. They fit it to your ear. You can't hear anything from outside. It's just that thing is locked. It's just, you don't hear anything. And what you hear, Suzy said, it's just so good. She wants to, I have one of these noise cancellation for the airplane, but still I can hear people. It kills a lot of noise, but still I can. But that inner ear, you can't hear anything. Today, I went to dentist. I lost this tooth right here. Anyway, it just looks really funny. It just broke. Last night it broke. Tadik, crunchy rice. It just broke, and and I cannot smile really good. But stuff happens to you, and then you get discouraged. And I was just driving. It's gonna cost some money because they have to do some implant. And anyway, I was just driving here, and I felt the Lord was just. He started to download about I am. When Moses asked him, who are you? I mean, the Lord could go for eternity and just answer that. I'm this, I'm that, and he wouldn't lie. For eternity, you can just listen to the Lord to tell you who he is, right? Then he said, okay, after 3 days, I think I'm good, They spent 3 days, but the Lord said, didn't you ask me who I was? Yes, sir, but okay, you're going to have for eternity, I'm going to tell you who I am, right? Even in heaven, we're going to get to know the Lord. Not he's not going to sit there and just brag about himself, but we will get to know him for eternity. Otherwise, heaven will be boring. And the Lord is so smart. And when Moses said, who are you? He said, okay, buddy, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put everything that I am in one small sentence. He said, I am what I am. Very smart. Very smart. I am what I am. And we are all sitting here, and we are his children. We've been having that inner ear right there. And all Satan does, if he could do one thing, he will tell you, you're not. Meaning, I'm not this. I'm not wise. I'm not a good husband. I'm not a good money manager. I'm not a good worship leader. I'm not a good person. I'm not successful. I'm not tall enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not. But I want to be. I wish I could. I want to be. Does that make sense? It's the story of every single person that is looking at me right now. And it's my story too. It's your story too. It's a big, fat war. And it all comes to I am or I am not. That's why when you started to speak who they are, it was so good. Then you talked about the lie that we believe. The lie comes, you have like millions of lies, but the roots of all lies are I am not. Right? The root of all lies is it comes to convince you and convince me I am not. And when I say I am not, meaning perhaps sometimes this is true, sometimes I really feel guilty. I said, I wish I was a better husband. I'm not really a good husband. I wish I could be a better husband. That sounds full of integrity, but that's from Satan. It sounds so religious, Oh, I'm so humble. I'm saying I'm not a good husband. It's so religious and so good, but it brings heaviness, like Roland was saying. Religion brings heaviness. Oh, I am not this. Oh, I'm not a kind person. And then when I say I am not, I prophesied I am not. But when the Lord looked at Moses, he said, I am. And, believing lies are so dangerous. Oh, I am not this. Oh, I am not that. And then when I say I am not, then I look at you deep down inside. I say he is not, she is not, my neighbor is not, our assistant is not, and then we fill the blank, if that makes sense. My neighbor is not a good neighbor. My country is not good. Iran, is not good. Now in America, everybody there, so most people, 20 years ago, everybody loved to be American. Now, a lot of people, they're like, this country is going down. It's not. I'm from Iran. Iran is not. I am not. Society is not. The TV is not. Everything is not. And the Lord is saying, I am. You are. When I realize, I'm preaching to myself, when I realize not only who I am, but I am. Does that make sense? Because our children are born out of set of parents, mother and now we have different things anyway, but mother and father, and whatever mother and father they are, the children are, right? They get your personality, they get it like they come from you. And if we are born of God, which we are, it's very clear in the book of John, then I am who he is. You know, I am who he is. And then you can feel it. All these I am not will fall off of you. All these lies. You have millions of lies. Sometimes it's so hard to even find them because they're in our subconscious. Billions. You can't just go find them all and arrest them, but one thing could arrest them all. I am. One I am could cancel billions of I am not. Really? One I am. Just one sentence, if you could get a hold in Bible right now. And the Lord said, I am what I am. I am what I am. And then you are the children of I am. But all Satan will do to tell you your country is not good, your culture is not good, your family, they are not good, people around you are not good, are not. Doesn't matter. Even if you don't have to say anything. When you say, I am not, they are not, he is not, she is not, the church is not, we fell.
And you're making it worse. All
Everybody.
All that negativity is permeating everyone, yourself, everyone you're being negative about. And like Cameron said, it seems not so bad, you know. I kind of do that with my family sometimes. Well, you know, this isn't, you know, they're not this, it's not going to work. And we have to learn to turn it around. And not being religious about it, but saying, okay, these people are carrying God. God is in everybody. What can I speak the opposite of? And still, if I have to have boundaries, that's okay. But I cannot keep speaking negatively.
You've been telling me, I've been speaking for the last 3 months. I'm surprised I've been so negative. Suzy saying, Cameron, you're speaking so negative.
Here, grab that microphone.
I'm angry. I want to kill somebody.
Oh dear, now the truth comes out. Yeah, I think I was just going to ask Roland, because we want to have this weekend, I believe, and I know Roland's talked a lot about it, we believe that God wants to pull the gold out in all of us and all the treasure out in all of us through each other, even more than, because there's always more to come out. Some of you have just barely gotten started. Some of us for years have been trying to get this stuff out, but there's always more. And I think he wants to start with breaking agreement. So if we can just get some cleansing right now and just break an agreement with, it could be just the last 3 months Cameron's been dealing with, or 2 years, 10 years, 1 week, whatever. Anything you know that you've been agreeing with that's totally negative, let's just get that done right now. How do you want to do that, Roland?
Yeah, any I am not that you can remember, because we all have different I am not. Just say it in your heart, I am. We can go pray, but and identify all those I am not and start saying I am. I am.